All right, guys, welcome again to our Only Points podcast. This is now episode 5, and thank you guys for those of you guys that have been watching. Maybe you have been streaming on Spotify or Apple Music on any of our platforms that we host. We really appreciate your support. We try to do this podcast to for many reasons, right? But a bunch of it is to talk about things that maybe us other people don't know about. Credit, believe it or not, lots of people don't know much about credit. Like they think they know, but there's a lot of misconceptions.
They
So
don't know anything, bro. They don't know shit.
lots of people don't know. So
Yeah.
so again, thanks again for tuning in. And I'm Alexis, otherwise known as Credit Jacker, and alongside we have both Eddies.
What's up, you guys?
What's up, Eddie Mercado right here.
And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So when it comes to updates, we're gonna go ahead and talk about all of our updates. And at least for me, when it comes to updates, last that we met in Las Vegas, maybe like I don't know, like a month ago or something, a few weeks ago. I don't think I have many updates to report, honestly, because I'm still like trying to catch up on my own things. Like I have a bunch of things to catch up. Tax season is coming up, but
Don't
it's
fucking
just
remind us. Great.
yeah. I don't
Tax
even want
season
to
is here, which is a little worse.
exactly, but yeah. It's I'm always trying to catch up with things. That's a problem. Like I feel like I don't have enough time. Like even if I wake up early and stuff, like there's always something comes up, and it's always kind of like a cat and mouse kind of thing where you're always chasing other things and
But have you beat
etc.
the rat race?
Have I beaten the rat race? No, honestly, like when they're the size of New York rats, there's no beating the rat race. So no, I haven't beaten the rat race, but I know you guys have beaten the rat race. So there we go. So yeah, when it comes to updates for me, not much. Maybe like a personal update. Like it's not really relevant to the podcast, but I'm gonna join a soccer team on Thursday nights. So kind of looking forward to that. We're recording on a Wednesday. It is March 1, so tomorrow's gonna be March 2, Thursday. So it's gonna be a fun thing. I used to be on a soccer team, and it's gonna feel good again. To play on a team. So I'm just excited for that. But it's just an like
That's
a personal hobby.
absolutely super awesome that you're bringing it up because I think one of the most I think people got to realize that we have other passions besides just making a bunch of money. And actually, like for example, I am doing a lot of research right now on all these extracurricular activities that I want to put my daughter into. So right now I'm looking at swimming classes, music classes, and then I'm trying to break that down into different like either singing, piano, or what may have you for her.
Right.
I'm trying to give her to become more physical because I took her out this weekend to a jump like a trampoline park thing, and they had arcade games, VR games. We had a blast, right? And she wanted to do the rock climbing. Dude, she could not even go up two fucking little rocks. Like, I wasn't disappointed in her at all because I know she's not physical like that. She's not interested in sports, but I was like, okay, it's time to add her in sports so she can gain a little bit of um activity more than just being on an iPad or going to school and stuff like that. So um, definitely that was an eye opener for me. And so no, it's actually great that you're bringing it up because eventually building a business should free up your time for you to start pursuing other passions besides just making money, because money at the end of the day can go up forever, but like being feeling fulfilled can come more than just having money, right? So it's joining a soccer team like that, it's bringing your passion. Dude, I want to do music again so bad. So once I feel like I have more time, I'm doing mariachi again, bro. So that's
Let's
cool.
go.
I'm glad that you're doing that, man. Good job.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I mean that's the update with me, and basically, yeah, Eddie's right. You can do all these business things, you can make so much money, but like if you're not supplementing it with like passions, hobbies that maybe you once had, but business is drowning it, then what's the point, So I do agree with Eddie, and yeah, on my part, that's basically my update. So let's go ahead and Eddie Garcia, why don't you update us on what you've been up to.
Yeah, of course. Give me one. So, for myself, just not much to be honest with you. I've been working on the back end of my company. I mentioned it in the last podcast that I hired someone to come in and systematize my company, and I'm just like going in there recording a bunch of content for my employees, for the clients, for since I'm updating everything, it's just everything needs to be updated. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of figuring out, testing things out. I submitted a lot of forms last night just to make sure that all the integrations are working together. And then I stayed up all night last night. It sucked, but it is what you got to do. All right, as a business owner, you got to test everything as much as possible just to make sure that once you release something, it's not gonna fall apart. The other bigger news, or I guess the other thing that I did in the meantime is actually my company sponsors a boxer. His name is Albert Ochoa. So I help him out with credit, flights, and just overall sponsorship of him. And he's starting out. He's is new into the scene. He's only been boxing for I think over a year now. But he's great, and he actually just had a fight in February 18th in LA. So he became double champ. I'm not that into boxing, so I won't be able to exactly tell you, but I know it was like influencer boxing slash something else. But very proud of him. He did a great job, even though the other guy, you could clearly tell that the other guy was not a boxer. The other guy came out swinging like I have no idea. He was trying to tackle Albert for some reason. But it is what it is. But I'm glad that Albert is like getting better. He's getting more exposure. He's bringing it up, and his name is being thrown out there even more. So I'm very proud of him, and it was fun. It was entertaining, to say the least. And the cool thing was that it was in LA, so I got to meet up with Alexis, you guys, and we went out to eat after he won the fight. We took a bunch of pictures at the ring, so you guys should be seeing those on my Instagram already on my stories, but I'm going to be posting on my IG pretty soon, you guys, once I finish the whole recording of the back end company stuff. And it was fun. It was fun hanging around. It was super cool walking around downtown LA with two belts around your or
Oh
with
yeah.
you. So that was very, very cool. Never done that before, obviously. We got a lot of attention. We took a bunch of pictures with random people. It was sick. It was fun. So that's pretty much it. The last two updates is like surprise, surprise. I'm sick again, you guys. I have no idea what's going on with me. But it's just because of the travel. It's just me not being home and the weather. It's that. But I'm trying my best, as you guys can hear. And one thing I'm super excited about that's happening this weekend. Is that since I used to play music, I used to be in a mariachi, and I'm going to be seeing Mariachi Vargas de Tecalitlan this weekend in TJ, Tijuana, Mexico, for you guys that don't know. It's only a 15-minute drive for me since I live in San Diego, but it's super exciting to see people that I've known and I've worked with and I've played with. It's super exciting to see them again, and it's something like Alexis said, it's something that he did when he was younger, and I truly miss playing mariachi. So that's pretty much it for me.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, hello guys. My name is Eddie Mercado. I don't know. It seems like everybody is getting into fun activities. One of my most entertaining and fun activities was mainly and more so traveling, where I just wound up hopping on an airplane for like 2, 3 days and come back home. I haven't done any traveling in the entire month of February, which yes is a trip. It actually feels weird to say that I did go on a trip at the end of January for my birthday, February 2nd, of course. But you guys already knew that. Um, I did fly back. I want to say, when did we fly back, Eddie? On the 4th or the 5th. Since then,
Yeah, something
I,
like that.
I did cancel a trip to Mardi Gras. Me and a couple of people were supposed to go to Mardi Gras. That was canceled. Chose to stay and chose to stay and hustle and work. Obviously, this isn't our typical way on how to record podcasts because everybody's been super busy. Everybody's been hustling and grinding. I myself finally settled down into the 2 warehouse units that I have out here in Las Vegas for the Amazon FBA operations that we're running, where we have private clients where we manage their stores, as well as just just where I get some of the inventory shipped into my warehouse and then I ship it right out just to get everything moving. That's probably my biggest update. Uh, Another really good update. I started consistently going to the gym, which is massive. I can't really well, I won't say the name of the gym. It is a private gym. It's pretty expensive, but it's super worth it. I haven't had to deal with any form of BS. Um,
Can I
some
cut you off right there? How much are you paying, if you don't mind me asking? Because I
oh
want to compare it to what I'm paying.
I don't think it's I believe it's 100 or 110, which might not seem like a lot, but knowing the fact that I come from a small city in California, Turlock, you might I think the
Yeah.
most expensive gym membership was like $35 a month. Now I'm paying more than 3 times, which is perfectly fine. But like I said, I haven't had to deal with any BS. There's zero cellulite there. Um, it's open 24 hours.
Bro, canceled. Canceled. No, I'm just kidding. No, bro, dude. The reason why I'm telling you that is because I go to a gym down the road just because it's the closest gym to me, and I don't like wasting time. But it's a $10 a month gym, and everybody and their mothers is in there all the time from open to close. It's not 24 hours. And it's super annoying when I'm trying to go in there and just get a quick workout in. And it's like I gotta wait for everything to clear up.
Yeah.
So I am thinking of making the jump to something more expensive like that, just for saving my time. Even if I have to drive further away, I rather do that to make sure that I'm getting the best equipment, getting when I get there, it's not jam packed with people. So hats off to you because I know you've been making progress with your health.
Yeah, I so the gut, as far as everything with my gut health is extremely well. Tomorrow I have my fifth or sixth call with my doctor. Already lost approximately 8 to 9 pounds, depending what I eat the day before. And this is in the course of 3 weeks. Um, what else?
Eddie, so really quick, I just wanted to say, you look very good. You have some face gains. You look skinny, so hats off to you.
Thanks. I do have to say, it's only been 2 or 3 weeks that has been consistently. And shout outs to my roommate, Mr. Credit Gems, who we hosted our last podcast. um he always talks about, oh, anything and everything that you say you have to commit to. And I always say, everything I want per day I earn. So unless I have a productive day, I won't have my first meal. Unless I do this, I won't do that. So um there are days where I've said twice, I'm not going to go to sleep unless I hit the gym. And both times I'm looking at the clock and it's 1:30 in the morning. Guess what I did? I went to the gym and I got to the gym at 2 a.m.
Discipline. That's it,
Yeah,
baby.
it's actually quite crazy, which I'm driving to the gym and I'm thinking to myself, seriously, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Seriously, like, what am I doing? It's 2 in the morning and I'm coming to the gym, but it's like nobody has the availability that I do. Nobody has the drive. I like to, I'll ride the high horse where when I say I'll commit to this, and the both times Gems goes, you're actually kind of crazy for that. And you know what I tell them? I rebuttal that by saying, hey, you know what? I actually did this shit to myself because I chose to prioritize other things. But I can't sleep unless what? I go to the gym. There was one time where I said I'm going to go to the gym, and I didn't because it was like 2:30 in the morning. I was so tired working on the computer. My eyelids were like literally closing up, and I was like, you know what? It's time for me to go to the gym. But as I stood up, I was like, you know what? If I get up and I go to the gym, what's going to happen? I literally believed that I was going to get in a car accident. So you guys have seen and witnessed my manifestation skills. I was like, I'm not about to fucking manifest this. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and sit down. No, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and just sit back down and like literally sleep. So been going to the gym, haven't been traveling as much. I do have a couple trips planned up. I'm going to be visiting my parents. They're finally coming back. Super excited to see them. They've been in Mexico for the past three, 2.5, 3 months. Um, it was super nice to see them live a little cupcake week as I was out there because we went to go celebrate my birthday out there. So I haven't seen them in about a month, almost exactly a month. On what else? From what I remember, that's probably it. Oh, I'm hitting record numbers. I'm at over $100,000 in sales revenue for the year, projected to hit my first seven projected to hit my first seven figures in sales by the end of summer. Uh, had my biggest payday last week. I'm not going to say the exact figure, but it was almost $10,000 in the course of 24 hours. So that was super cool. That alone allowed me to see, hey, you know what? And what I did wasn't that difficult. It was really following up, and it was following a lead that I have for a while. Closed the deal finally, and it's the first of the March. It's the first of the month. It's March 1st. Um, it's about to be a massive month for me and all my Amazon FBA students, all my travel hacking students too. So yeah, I think we need to talk a little bit about
Yeah.
some
That's
travel.
awesome, bro. I'm glad for you, bro. I'm glad that you're doing all that. You're the thing that I want to commend you as, like you said, you're doing everything that you said that you were gonna do. You're focusing on your health, you're focusing on your business, you're focusing, you kept manifesting the, like, I'm gonna hit seven figures this year. I'm gonna hit seven figures this year, and you're on track and doing it. So congratulations to you. And it's that power of just being able to tell yourself, set up a goal and working towards that goal. Actually, I forgot to mention one thing myself, talking about that. On the last podcast, or on the last few podcasts, I was talking about how one of the things I want to work on is spending more time with my daughter. As entrepreneurs, like, we can go down a rabbit hole of just focusing on the business and being super excited about what we're doing and what we got going on, that we tend to forget about what's going on in the around us. So I made it myself that I got to focus on spending more time with my daughter. It's not that I neglect her, but it's one of the things that in my mind, I don't want her to grow up and be like, Dad, I saw you locked up yourself in an office all day for my entire childhood. I don't want her to tell me that when she grows up. So every single weekend now, I spend time with my daughter. I've been taking her out. So the entire weekend I'm with my daughter. I've been taking her out to Mexico. I love going to TJ. I love going to restaurants, the hotels. It's so much fun. So we've been taking her out to parks. I've been taking her out to all this fun stuff with my daughter. So I'm glad to be able to say that I'm committing to what I've been promising. And again, she's coming with me to TJ again this weekend to see mariachi. I'm trying to expose her to music like how I was exposed when I was younger, thanks to my dad. So that's what I wanted to say.
Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. Another thing is there is a difference between saying you're gonna do something or actually believing it. So I don't just statistically, I've actually wrote down numbers where I know exactly, I laid down brick by brick the numbers that I need to be doing every single month. And of course it is projected, but with a plan and a goal in mind, we're just gonna go ahead and start doing check marks like the ones on my Nike sweater. We're gonna start
There you
checking
go.
off these boxes, you know. Every single month we're hitting higher and higher numbers. So I'm super excited to see what obviously is in store. even though I am projected to hit the numbers that I say I am, I literally cannot wait because it would obviously be a milestone, and it's just how can I say it? I'll be surprised just as much as I'm not, because it's something I haven't done before. Yet I've been talking about this for so long, so I'm excited, super excited.
That's awesome, man. All right, but for today's topic, you guys, we wanted to start with Alexis. Alexis has some cool stories that we want him to show his perspective of, you know, how he got started with credit and stuff like that. So one of the things that he brought to us was the we've even talked a little bit about this in the podcast before. It's about annual fees and how trying to get rid of your annual fees is kind of dumb, because there's so much value into these credit cards. So I'm gonna let Alexis talk and have him tell us how much he's paying for annual fees right now, and tell us a little bit of the story of his very first flight.
Yeah, so one of the things that I think a lot of people are scared about is annual fees. I think I have lots of friends, that ask me, "Hey, what credit card do you get?" It's always, like the basics, right? That you can say, Discover, Chase, etc. But when I ask them, "Hey, like, are you willing to spend a little bit like on annual fees?" I'll give them my reasons on saying things like, "Oh, I think if if you can take advantage of these benefits, you're gonna win, because um, most of these people that get these cards, they don't take full advantage. But I tell them like, hey, as long as you take advantage of it, it's gonna vary on each card, right? But if you take advantage of these monthly credits or using these points to transfer to airline or hotel partners, etc., it's gonna vary, of course. But if you take advantage, you're gonna win. But for some reason, like people are afraid of annual fees, and I get
Especially
it,
when it's like, especially when the annual fee is like $95 or something
Yeah,
like that. And but
exact
they're willing to spend more of that in a fucking dinner. Right?
exactly. It doesn't make sense to me, because exactly for those reasons. But again, like $95 annual fee, that's kind of like more or less, the basic. There are some that are like a little bit lower at like $50. Exactly, entry level. So when it comes to annual fees, it's really nothing, and people are scared of these. But I was kind of doing the math. I don't have the exact number, but we can kind of break it down to like what cards I have. But I more or less pay anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000 easily in annual fees alone every year.
Every
That's a
year.
crazy thing,
I think that I'm about there too. I think I'm close to the 5K mark too myself.
Yeah, I'm probably like around the 5K mark, but we'll break it down really quick on what cards I have, why I pay those annual fees for each card. If I renew these cards every year. So let's go ahead and do Amex, right? So I have 8 cards with Amex. I have 8 cards, yeah. No, actually, I have 9 because I kind of consider my player two. Basically, it's my card, right? Because
Your
my player two
player
doesn't use it.
too? This
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. So
Dude, you just blew so many people's minds right now.
so let me go ahead and explain what a player two is, right? So when it comes to the credit world, a player two more or less is someone that they could be your friend, they could be your spouse, they could be like boyfriend, girlfriend, really anyone that you trust, that that they trust you back, right? So a player two is usually apply for cards on their behalf because one, like you can only get so many cards, and lots of these banks have rules saying that you can only get this offer once every 2 or 4 years or once in a lifetime. So that's kind of why you want to get a player two. And for example, if your player two is a spouse, think about it. You guys live together. You guys can rack up those points together. You guys can travel together. So it kind of makes sense. So my player two, she's one of my friends, and basically we trust each other a lot. And huh?
Kind of friend.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried now.
No,
Very
don't
worried,
worry.
The
sweating.
reason why I say that is because my best friend is a girl too. Her name's Wesley. She's the best.
No,
Yeah, so
for myself, I got my parents, so it's like I got three players right now.
3 players, let's go. Um, so yeah, so I mean, so again, that's basically what player twos are. I'll get back to the player two in a minute, but I want to go back to my cards. So when it comes to Amex, I have 8 cards. I have lots of charge cards. I have on the personal side, I have a personal platinum card. That is an annual fee of 695. It's crazy because there used to be an annual fee of what, like 550 before this, and I believe before that it was 450. So they've only kept on raising it and raising it, and I'm gonna explain like once I like go through my cards like why I might renew with these cards or why I might not want to renew. But so that's one of them. Personal platinum 695, personal gold card for 250, I believe.
Yeah, it's like 250.
Yeah, it's 250. So really quick with the personal platinum, I forgot to talk about the benefits, but it's mainly like a travel card. You get airline credits. You also get a hotel credits through the Amex portal. I really like that one because you get really nice rooms, like free dinners, free breakfast, um, upgrades if the hotel has it. There's a bunch, right? So you have Uber credits as well, but those are the main ones, that make up most of the benefits with the platinum. Gold one, it's as I was saying, 250. A lot of it is like Uber credits, but it also has like a $20 monthly credit. So in my mind, like I use Uber credits for Uber Eats. So I kind of stack it twice when it comes to restaurant and Uber Eats. So because it's like a restaurant card, it's a no brainer for me. Like I take advantage of it 100%. Like
Damn,
if
gordo.
right.
No, I use my Uber credits just actually on Uber rides whenever
Uh
I go
huh.
to Vegas or wherever I go. Actually, when I'm traveling, um, I don't need
Hmm.
outside unless I'm actually at the restaurant. Otherwise, because I have the meal prep service. So
Yeah, I think for me, the reason why I don't really use Uber is because I drive around, so I don't really mind paying out of pocket if it's for like an Uber at an airport because one, like I'm usually with like friends, so we can split the cost or like whatever. Or like if I go to Vegas, I'm sure Eddie can pick me up. So for me, I'd rather use the Uber Eats credit, because I'm gonna eat anyway, so might as well. But if you do the math,
Might as well and eat good.
might as well feast, right? So when it comes to the gold, like you get $20 of restaurant and Uber credits, so that's 40 a month. That comes out to no, my bad, $10 a month for each. That comes out to 240. You're basically paying like $10, and at that point, like if you're using that card, for like restaurant spend, you'll probably have even spent like way. Your return is already better.
yeah. So actually, quick question with this. So you're saying that you have about like $5,000 in annual fees, right?
Yep.
Through various credit cards, and they can be for many reasons, but most of it is because of the benefits and the perks that they give you, right? The security, credit cards are just best to buy anything. And if you actually use all the credits and points that you get with them, it's completely will cover the annual fee and more, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So with that being said, how much are you because like okay, so let's say you're in your cost every single year to have all those credits, all those benefits to be able to fly wherever the hell you want. Think about it as your annual membership of $5,000, right? How much actually how often do you travel with your because you still got the like a kind of 9 and 5, right? Like you still have a
Uh,
job-ish.
Not really.
Not really, right? Okay,
No.
but like in your scenario, in your scenario, how much are you actually like all the trips that you're taking throughout the year? How much does that cost? So that way we can compare: is you paying $5,000 a year worth it for everything you're getting? plus all the travel that you're using. Does that make sense?
No. What you're probably trying to say is how much in travel value are you getting versus
Thank
the
you.
five
Yes.
thousand
Yes.
dollars
Yes.
that see I we understand each other, but for the people out there, so
Yeah.
the question is out of all the trips combined year round, how much would you value all that spend if you were paying out of pocket versus that $5,000?
Correct. Correct.
Honestly, I haven't done the math, but I can tell you that it's easily like I get much more value on whatever trips I have. Like if we think about it, let's just go off of based off of last year, right? So like we took 2 trips together to New York, right? So uh, on 2 of those times, I know on one of those occasions, well, actually, you guys were there, but you guys had left for that day. I booked an Equinox hotel. More or less, that's $1,000 a night,
Plus,
and then plus, yeah,
Yeah.
even more.
So 2 nights out of the entire year, you're already sitting at $2,000
We're
because
sitting at 2,000. Yeah.
yeah, because Alexis, when he goes out, he balls out. Like, like he does not like staying at cheap places.
Well, when I go to like any place, I try to stay at the best possible place. Like, of course, there are times when it doesn't really make sense to, but I'll try to do like my best.
make it home, make the hotel rooms home.
Exactly. So again, going back to New York, on just those 2 nights, Equinox 2000 flights going to New York. Like I don't know, let's just say like I want to say like 500
Like four to
round
five
trip
hundred. That's what I was gonna say.
for the, but let's
Per
just keep it at
flight.
500,
We'll be cheap and just say 400.
400, right? So round
That's
trip,
$800.
$800 for 2 trips. So that's already 2,800. And again, this is just for 2 New York trips. So I go to Vegas every now and then, to catch up with Eddie. Um, they also have trade shows and whatnot. So Vegas is cheaper, right? Like we're talking about like I don't know, like $100 flights. So
Yeah, it's only a 30-minute flight for us, 45-minute flight for us.
Yeah, but they that actually adds up because it's multiple times.
Yeah.
You come to Vegas more than 5 times a year, and that is where it begins to add up
Well, last year I was coming to Vegas almost every other weekend.
every 3 days.
So every 3 days I was there, bro. So even for me, I don't want to cut you off, Alexis. So for me, like in 1 month, I would have already recuperated all that cost. Does that make
right.
sense? Because
Hmm.
imagine all the hotels that I was getting every single time I was there. Imagine all the flights that was there and back. Sometimes I was there in less than 3 days. I would leave, and then 3 days I would come back. So it was quite insane.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I went to Vegas a lot. I went to Vegas to go see you guys, but I also went with my family as well. So, and like I was saying, when I try to go to these hotels, I try to stay at nice hotels. So I remember I took my family to the Delano, and other occasions I stayed at the Cosmopolitan, the Wynn, the Encore. So these hotels aren't cheap either. Like the Encore can be up to like 500 a night plus. So
Depending on the day, easily.
depending on the day, and same thing with the
Correct. Correct.
Cosmopolitan. Like these rooms that have like terrace views. They're not cheap. But
Since you're
like
in LA, do you ever stay at the Ritz-Carlton there?
oof. Because I'm in LA, I don't really stay in hotels. But what I do want to do is the Park Hyatt is coming soon in LA. It's like I want to say like it's gonna open up in these coming months. So I do want to like
Test
um
it out,
s-
see how it is.
I do want to see how it
Absolutely.
is. Yeah.
Let us.
Well, let's record a podcast there. Let's
I
do
was
it.
I'll,
literally just about to say that. I was gonna say, let us know when to pull up so we can
Yep.
record a podcast.
I was gonna say the exact same thing that whenever like whenever it opens, grand opening or whatever, like we'll plan a day to figure it out. Do a podcast there and stuff. But yeah, I mean with all these trips, that I've talked about, like easily 5,000 plus, um, and the thing is, like most of this is used with points. I really don't pay out of pocket, um,
With the exception of
um, with the exception of
taxes and maybe luggage.
The
Uh,
TSA fees, luggage, I really don't pay either because
no,
I
you're
have
not.
airline status.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same here.
so I don't really do that. The only time that I will mention that I did have to pay out of pocket, but it's more because it was a benefit for the Delta Platinum business card, is because you get a companion certificate every year that you renew your card.
Oh, and you have to pay cash for that.
Yeah, so the kind of bad thing is that you do have to pay cash for that. However, I use that when I went to go see my family in Charlotte. I have some uncles, cousins over there, so I use that to use my companion for my sister. And at the time, a round trip ticket to Charlotte during the holiday season, we're talking about like New Year's time, around that time, $800. So if you think about it, that card annual fee is 250. I use a certificate to book a free flights for my sister that was valued at $800. So I already made like my return on that card 3 times plus. So for me,
With that
like
one flight. With that one
with that
flight.
one flight alone, of course I
Yeah,
paid cash.
insane.
I had the points. Like, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah,
had the points, but you had to book cash. So
So for
that's
the next,
basically the only time that I book cash.
gotcha. That
so
makes sense.
so that wait, what airline did you say that this was?
This is with Delta.
Okay, so for the next 3 years, you have to renew your platinum Delta card so that they don't lose money. We don't want to be ripping banks off, right?
Exactly.
We're fair
Yeah,
people, and we play by their fucking rules. We play by their rules.
exactly. This is all according to their terms and conditions.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fuck anybody over.
We don't do any illegal things like crossing red lights. We don't do any of that. If you know, you know.
Of course. All right. So actually, so I know this. It sounds so nice and fancy talking about everything that we're doing now, like free flights and all this stuff. But Alexis, I know you have a crazy first flight story, so I really want to hear this one myself since I haven't heard of it before. So I want to know, like, how much did you paid for this? Where'd you go? Tell us the backstory.
Where did you sit?
So B, so I have I want to show you guys something. So this is gonna be the first airline ticket that I ever win on, and I'll pull it up on you guys on your
This is like
screen.
the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket.
Yeah, this is something you get a frame, bro. I don't even see any information on there though. Like
So
that's
the
crazy.
thing is with this ticket is it's so old that it's faded, but I have the next one, the return flight. So
Wow.
I'll show you the back really quick. It was a trip to Washington D.C. Oh, it's
There
up, it's backwards, but
from
it
from LAX, I'm guessing, right?
Alaska
from
Airlines is lit too. They have
Alaska Airlines. Yeah, Alaska Airlines from LAX to Washington D.C. Here's the return flight. You're gonna see the dates even. Like, watch, take a look at
Okay,
this.
actually,
It's gonna be on my right side. It's gonna say I think May 29
I don't
or
see
May
it.
5,
May
Oh,
20.
I see it. Yeah, May 29, 2005.
2005. This was my first
Holy
flight.
Sheesh.
It's
dude,
crazy. So
I was a kid. Damn.
yeah.
I was 9 years old. 9 years of age.
Yeah,
Um, I
yeah.
I took this flight when I was in the 5th grade, so I think I was what, like 12 or 13, something like that.
You
Um,
were in the fifth grade in 2005?
yes, or
No, you
yeah, yeah.
should. You're
For me,
older
yeah,
than me.
yeah. I was in the 5th grade in 2005. This was like at the end of 5th grade.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, we were in the same class. Interesting.
We were
Yeah, I'm a year younger,
okay. Oh yeah, so
but
that
we're in
makes
the same
sense.
class. Interesting. Okay,
Uh-huh.
gotcha.
Yeah, so let me explain. Why I took this flight. So in the 5th grade, I got paired up with like this famous 5th grade teacher. You guys probably don't know him, because you guys were young. But if you look into him, like he's still I don't think he teaches anymore, but he's called Ray Fesquith, Mr. Ray Fesquith. He basically gave me the chance to like fly to Washington D.C. because he does Shakespeare. So every year his class or my class, we do Shakespeare plays. So in my year, we did this play called The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare. So I'm sure you guys have heard of that name. Very famous author, writer too. And yeah, so we did that play. And basically, he garners a lot of attention, right? He's a very popular teacher. A lot of teachers look up to him or looked up to him because of his teaching methods. Be nice, work hard, lots of things, but like he would always tour several states, several cities to go speak with other teachers, how to teach correctly, how to motivate these students. And yeah, basically every year we will go to Washington D.C. with the class, the fifth grade class, and that was basically my first flight. Alaska Airlines, as you guys saw. I remember staying at Embassy Suites in Washington D.C. So of course, if you know anything
This
about
guy
Embassy Suites,
this guy on the 5th grade already writing down, okay, what hotel this is, who owns this hotel, what chain is this?
I believe it's Hilton, right?
it's Hilton. Yeah, so of course Embassy Suites, you might not know, but it's Hilton owned. You might also not know that they do provide breakfast. So at the time they did, free breakfast every
Everything.
day. Yeah, and basically it's like a suites only kind of hotel. So it's more or less family oriented. So that was cool. Like fifth grade, took my first flight, Washington D.C. Of course, we saw a bunch of memorials like Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial, any of the memorials that you can think of, you name it, we were probably there. So we were there for, I want to say, like almost a week, and it was really cool. Like I just had a blast. Like because think about it, like not a lot of 12-year-olds can say that. Oh, like I took my first flight. Fifth grade. Um, we went to Washington D.C. Not a lot of kids can say that.
Yeah, dude, I still can't say that. I still have not been to Washington, D.C., unfortunately.
Funny that we haven't.
No,
No
we
way,
haven't.
neither of you guys.
No. I
Yeah.
Washington D.C. hasn't really caught my attention, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to go see there, to be honest with you. Besides bribes on politicians. No, I'm just playing. Besides, no, yeah. Just to say that I've been there, to be honest with you. But besides that, I don't know. Unless the public here can enlighten me what I need to go do and check out in Washington, D.C.
I've probably been to New York 8 times. I'd much rather go back to New York than DC, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I was about to tell you we gotta find another something to do like Syracuse, but in Washington, D.C. Some
Yeah.
random, oh, we came here just because of one TikTok video.
So when it comes to Washington D.C., I will throw this out. Every year there is a certain time where these Japanese cherry blossoms bloom, and it's actually
Oh,
coming
that
up.
would be sick.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to see Japanese gardens. That
yeah,
is super cool.
I'd rather
exactly.
just go to Japan though. At
Yeah,
that
that's true. But I mean, like, you can't. Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, no facts. Big facts.
we will
Yeah,
go
so
experience the cherry blossoms at the Japanese gardens for
Yo, talking about Japan, I keep hearing good things about Japan and I keep hearing horrible shit about Japan. It's like either you're gonna love it there or you're gonna absolutely freaking hate it. Like it's there's no in between, you
we
know?
would love it because we would literally have we would have I wouldn't necessarily say everything paid for, but we wouldn't look at prices for
Okay, but
anything.
here's the thing though, like I've obviously we're in the travel space, so we've talked to a lot of people that travel, a lot of our friends travel. So of all of the either even videos or people that I talk to, at first they will always tell me like you're gonna be there for a week or two and then you're never gonna come back and you're gonna feel depressed or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell? Why? Right? I just never understood it. And then I will hear the complete opposite, like, oh my God, I love it, I want to live there, etc., etc., etc. And then again, recently I saw another video that apparently in Japan. Now, this is not for me, you guys. I'm not saying this. This is what I've heard. But apparently in Japan, their racism is very blatant and open and there that some bars, some places, they just go like only Japanese people are allowed inside this bar, no foreigners.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them. I don't blame them.
I mean, like, yeah, nothing against that. I'm just saying that, like, it would kind of suck if we travel all the way to, like, oh, we found this cool bar or this thing that we want to go check out, this restaurant, and then next thing they tell it, oh, you're a foreigner, I don't want you in here. I was like, that would suck
It would be a
because
buzzkill. It would be a buzz.
because imagine if we did that in the United States. If God forbid, back during segregation, like that's racism basically, right? Imagine if we just said like, hey, all Mexicans can't enter this restaurant. That would be considered like, what the hell are you doing, right?
Well, nowadays you just get canceled.
Yeah, you would just get canceled. Big facts. But that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know. Like, I want to go. I'm still gonna go regardless of whatever other people tell me because I want to experience it myself. I want to experience racism myself because we don't get enough of that here. But I still want to go.
Future, yeah, if we've ever
Right.
experienced. But just to let Credit Jacker finish up, so you went out there to see the memorials. You went out there to bribe the politicians. You know, I'm just kidding. What was the purpose? So it's just William Shakespeare. You went to the memorials. What else?
Yeah, so basically it was just kind of like a fun trip, you know. I
How
really
much of
can't
it do
say
you
much.
remember? Like, how much of it do you actually remember?
Yeah, I remember it pretty well, you know, like it's my first flight, you know, so first trip.
That's probably why, because sometimes I'm just like, damn, I actually don't remember going on this trip. Not because of
It's out of the thousands you've taken.
not because of the OH, but because of the thousands that I've taken. Yeah.
But actually, question for you, Alexis.
Yeah.
Did your parents have to pay anything out of pocket for this, or like was it all paid through the school? How did this come to be?
Okay, so like I was mentioning, this fifth grade teacher, he was very popular, so my parents, I believe, they did have to pay, I want to say like $200, but that $200 was more for like our own expenses, like food and stuff. So the flights were covered by my fifth grade teacher. Don't get me wrong, you know, hotel flights covered, transportation was covered by my parents' money. So food and stuff, you know, like basic
Oh, okay. So
things, you
this
know.
didn't really cost you anything, but that's cool. That's like cool, very first interesting.
He was travel hacking before he knew about travel hacking.
You're
So
right.
Exactly. I was travel hacking before I even knew travel hacking was a thing.
Right there you go.
that's you literally just grew into it, you know?
I
You're like, I
grew
have
into
to
it,
figure
yeah.
this out. I actually have to figure this out. And so we did.
Yeah, and I wanna show you guys more. I'm gonna pull out this envelope that has even more flights.
Oh shit. Here we go.
So this
Bro, you keep
envelope
all your oh my
Oh my God, bro. No,
this
I do
envelope
not do
has
that.
like a bunch of things, right? Like it has flights. It has more flights. Like
it probably has
What?
that's the old Delta logo. See?
Damn.
it probably
So
has
like
my hair in it. Eddie, it probably has my hair in it too.
so I'm not I'm not joking when I say, you know, that I've traveled a lot, you know,
Yeah,
United.
no, big facts.
And then I have some, you know, that are, I'll see if I can find it, but I have one that back when Continental Airlines was a thing. Here's one that's
Who's that?
Northwest Airlines.
What?
It's no longer an airline, but
Yeah,
like
I've
it
never
merged.
heard
I
of it,
think it merged with one of these airlines. Continental Airlines is basically, I want to say, like, I can probably fact check myself later, but I think it merged
bro.
with American Airlines or United, one of those
Bro,
two.
you're showing your age, bro. Stop it.
Stop it.
Aged
We're like the
well.
same age.
God damn.
Well, well, thanks for making it obvious that I'm the youngest. So
Yeah.
There's
let's
one
see.
of JetBlue.
Yeah. Hey,
Jeff,
but none of us can grow a beard like you, bro.
I know. It's all wisdom and experience.
Hasta las canas te están saliendo, güey.
Yeah, so I mean, so one of the things that besides this Washington D.C. trip, as I was saying, you know, I was in this Shakespeare play called Taming of the Shrew in my class, fifth grade, and this is when I got into guitar. Like I don't know if you guys know, but I play guitar, uh, classical, acoustic, electric guitar. Like I know it. I've been playing since 2004. So that's what, like 19 years. I'm coming on 20 years of playing the guitar. Crazy, right?
Damn.
Are you gonna
Yes.
smash your guitar when you hit like 20 years just to celebrate?
You know what? That'd be a big flex. Be like, hey, this is my guitar that I used to play in fifth grade, but I'm gonna smash it and then get another one. Get another one just because I can.
Get another one just
Okay.
off points.
Right?
Points, you can buy it on Pine on the Chase portal.
Yeah. So I mean, so for me, I was in the group because I was a guitarist, so I also was a bassist. So basically, that's how I participated in the play because there was live music as well. So I did mainly music instead of acting in the play, and because of that, and like I was saying, my fifth grade teacher is famous, so he got to tour lots of cities. So I got to tag along with him and other students of him. Like my friends at the time. I remember that.
Girl sweatshirt.
No, he wasn't in my class. No, he was in high school and middle school. Yeah. But I did get to tour, like a bunch of cities during this time. This
Look at
was
Alexis
after.
touring as a musician at 12 years old, rocking fucking
Hey Eddie, and you thought you had a story.
fucking A, right?
Yes, I mean this was past fifth grade. I had already left his class. I went to a middle school. We would still keep in touch. We would tour cities that I have visited, toured, played along on with him. San Diego, San Francisco, Oregon, Washington, New York, literally or not any state, right? But I want to say that I've been to like 25 states just off of like touring slash, playing, with him, So
this guy
honestly, like,
never this guy never tried to make like an advancement.
what do you mean advancement?
Don't fucking say that.
Never try to make an advancement on you, like
No,
We're not trying
not
to get canceled today, bro.
no,
not too convinced.
you're not too
Damn.
convinced. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy, because I had already graduated from his class and I took all these trips and
Wait, hold on, because you spoke a lot about. Oh, I understand why you spoke a lot about Washington D.C., which obviously was your very very first trip. But you mentioned Oregon. What is let's talk a little bit about Oregon. What other states?
so Oregon. Let me pull up my map really quick, but I have Oregon, Washington. If we go on the east or Nevada to Vegas. Um, I've been to Arizona many times. I don't think I went to Utah during this time. New Mexico, yeah, Albuquerque, Texas. I went to a lot. I went to like
Albuquerque,
Houston,
New Mexico,
Dallas.
there's a huge music presence there.
Hmm.
Huge.
Exactly. So when it comes to Texas, I went to Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Corpus Christi. So I've been to Texas a lot. Kansas. Um, where else? I'm looking at the map right now. Um, Funny enough, not Florida, but my sister. She also was a part of his class. She's 3 years younger than me, but she kind of got the same experience, but not as much as me. But she still got to travel a bunch. But on the East Coast, I went basically down the line. So we're talking like North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, down the line. Down the coast. I mean, So
Where
I've
in
been everywhere.
Massachusetts?
Boston.
Everybody says, can you remember enough? Everybody says Boston is nicer than New York. Everybody says Boston is a nicer version of New York.
Um, so for me, I like Boston, but the thing is, like it's more like of a historical city. So like if you're not really a fan of like Washington D.C., then you might not like Boston as much. So I doubt that you would like Boston more.
Well, we go to New York for the pizza. for the Sicilian smackers. Do you think
That's you guys. I'm good with the pizza.
you think well we never worked at Domino's, so we never had breakfast.
Dude, actually the I got a when I went to Chicago to try their deep dish, that was good. That was
It was
good.
good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was I don't know why I expected you to say it was a disappointment.
No, that was good. No, I mean, I think the very first pizza shop that we went to eat, it was pretty good. My very first trip to New York with you, Eddie, I think the very first pizza shop was good. Everything after that was just not
Oh,
good.
when you I remember correctly, the very first, so the restaurant that I took you to, the slice of pizza was like 4.50 a slice, and then
Yeah,
anytime after that,
like 99 cents once.
it was $2.50 for
Yeah.
two slices of cheese and a can of soda, which I went fully loaded on.
Yeah, dude. No, they were just not good at all.
It's
Um,
Joe cheese and tomato paste.
so I definitely want to try that famous one that you keep telling me about in New York.
Artichoke? We went to Artichoke.
No, you told me one like, dude, this is where all the celebrities go to. This is where like literally everybody.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's in downtown.
Yeah.
It's not downtown. It's in the heart. Bro, there's
Yeah.
always a line of like 30
So
minutes. Oscar de la Fishnets was there. Well, everybody, just imagine. But yeah,
there you go. That's it.
Yeah, so I mean, so I don't think they're known for their pizza. I think they're more known for like their sourdough bread or something like that. But it's more like of a historical place, you know. I liked it, but you know, not everyone's gonna like it. You know, it's very educational too. You know, because a lot of good schools are there. We're talking about like Harvard, Tufts University, Boston University. Lots of big schools are there. MIT. So these are like so Boston is really like a historical slash educational kind of place. So it's not for everyone, you know, but if you do kind of like that thing, you know,
Oh, so we
Boston
should
is
go
for
there
you.
for networking. Got it.
Yeah,
that's
it
what.
could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Let's get all the all the wait. How do you the sororities is for the girls and then uh,
Frat.
Fraternities.
fraternities are for the guys. So let's just go to all their parties and just like see who we can
Mm,
link up. We're gonna be fucking partying with freaking politician sons and shit.
Yeah, we have to
exactly.
blackmail them, and that's step one on this is so gonna get taken down. Bribe the
The Secret Service is gonna start going after us. Like,
step,
who you got?
step one to bribing the politicians.
There you go. All right. So,
Yeah.
I think the
That
next
sounds
topic,
excellent. I
the
didn't
next,
know. I didn't know that you've been to 25 states. That because I do in the near future plan on getting my pilot license. I It is very possible for me to hit a different state a different week and travel every single week of the entire year. But even that sounds excessive. So it's the fact that you did it at such a young age and uh you're so ahead of
but you also have a cool story. It's not like you just went there and then you sat at a hotel and didn't do shit because you were told you're so. You were actually doing stuff. There was a reason why you were there, right? Same thing when I was traveling for mariachi, same thing. Like I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico for competitions. I went to Arizona, everywhere in California, so in Mexico too. So there's a cool story and memories behind it, right?
yeah,
So
and it's also once so you go to these places for specific gigs. Once the gig is over, hey, it's like I wouldn't necessarily say it's a free for all, but it's like, hey, it's time for you to do whatever it is that you want. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
Yep.
make
absolutely.
make the most of it.
Yeah, exactly. So closing up on this, you know, like it's really cool for me, you know, because I got to travel, you know, basically for free since fifth grade. You know, not a lot of fifth graders can say that, you know, or that, you know, like even if you did travel as a fifth grader, like that it wasn't with your parents, you know, like I got to travel with my classmates, friends. I got to visit 25 states. I learned a lot about traveling, flights, etc. Oof, imagine if I was able to like collect all my miles, you know, on all the frequent flyer airlines. Oof, I would have so many like miles. I'd probably have status for life, even maybe. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm just really glad, you know, that I got to experience that. Not a lot of elementary school students, middle school students can say that they even did such a thing. So it was an honor, you know. And that leads us to the next topic, you know. Um, People that work 9 to 5s and they only get 1 week of paid vacation a year. How
If that,
crazy is that?
if they get that,
That
if
that,
they even get that.
that's pretty huge. I mean,
All right, so yeah, Eddie, you're the one who wanted to talk about this. So
yeah,
what's
I
up?
did. I did, and that's mainly and more so because of course, you guys know my background. I used to work at hotels, which is probably why I know so much about travel hacking. I remember you had to be a full-time employee and work for like I want to say like 45 weeks. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but I believe you had to work for like 45 weeks out of the year um, in order for you to accumulate uh, 1 week of paid vacation. And we're talking Monday through Friday. I'm not talking about 7 days of paid vacation. To me, that I is such a scam. I don't see how a company can expect so much and give so little. Of course, the reason why you apply for a job is because you want to provide a service or you want to sell a specific product or you get paid for whatever it is that you do, correct? That 1 week paid vacation to me is just no, and then excused absences, that kind of stuff, that doesn't fly with me. I mean, I don't want to say that it's a scam, but it's not something that I could live with, which is why I derived into a different path. Correct. I chose to do
Yeah,
something different.
yeah,
I do something different. A lot of people don't even know what I do, and they're just like, this guy just makes money off thin air, which is obviously
right.
not true. But um, uh,
I understand where you're coming from. Because I don't exactly believe that working for somebody else is a scam. That is not a scam because we have people that work for us. There's people that don't have they don't want to pursue this entire entrepreneur journey as we're doing because it's very stressful and it's not for everybody. And all kudos for everybody who's like extremely smart in a subject and they're able to capitalize that and have a really good paying job for that. Like we need the doctors, we need the lawyers, we need all these highly skilled professionals in their fields so to make society work, obviously, right? But however, I think what we're saying the scam where the scam comes in is that especially since after 1971 these big giant companies started dwindling the amount of money they were paying out for their employees and removing pensions, removing benefits, removing so many things to where now, and especially where the and it's just getting worse time at a time, right? So all these big giant companies like Walmart, Amazon are paying their employees so little according to the cost of living in that city or in that area. So you can barely afford anything, especially a vacation, right? So or like for you to be able to take time off to travel or to see new things or try new things. So I think that's where we're saying like where the scam is coming from. I don't want to say like, oh, quit your 9 to 5 today and live this life of just traveling and making money online and shit like that. No. I think that is very humbling and very noble to be able to dedicate yourself to a mission and go and to build a team and to be in it part of the team, right? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm building my team and I need people who have the same visions and goals, but are not willing to take the entire risk that I'm taking. Because being an entrepreneur, you're taking a bunch of risks, a bunch of debt that might not work out. You never know. So um, I think that's where you're getting it. Is that correct, Eddie?
yeah, because don't get me wrong, scam is a strong word. I just think the scam is more on oneself for accepting such treatment, despite the fact that I know that one has to do what they got to do to survive, even if it's working at this job that they don't like for 4 months out of the year, just to get by, and then finally an opportunity opens up at a better paying job, or perhaps maybe you just needed some form of experience before you advanced somewhere else. I just wouldn't accept it. So I just think it's so little. It is so little. Because when it comes down to a job, all the requirements of you showing up at a specific time, you taking a break when they tell you having your lunch for a specific and limited amount of time, you get told when to go to lunch, whether it's scheduled or not. If you work 8 hours out of the if you work 8 hours out of the day and you take your lunch break every on the third hour, even though it's scheduled, they're still telling you when to take your lunch, right? But of course, this is mainly and more so.
Amazon, you don't even get to use the restroom. You gotta pee in a freaking water bottle. So it's insane. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
so there was a report that came out a year or two ago saying that employees at warehouses at Amazon, their workload was so strict that they couldn't even take bathroom breaks. They had to pee in water bottles.
Hell no, that's actually, I mean, I'll say this. There have been reports, whatever. I don't know how much I believe that, but what I can tell you is I worked for Amazon as well when I actually dropped out of college to work at Amazon for one season, and I was like, this is exactly why I need to go back to school. This is, of course, before I started my entrepreneurship journey, which has panned out quite well. I don't know if it's obvious, but
No, 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 bro. No.
there is something that I did hear about Amazon. I always wondered why I always call these amber lambs, why there was always ambulances outside of Amazon facilities. It cost Amazon around $2,400 to $2,700 per day. Now, don't quote me. It cost a little bit less than $3,000 to have an ambulance parked outside of an Amazon facility in the event that somebody passes out from heat exhaustion. Something happens, because it is cheaper to pay the ambulance than it is to pay for the AC on a monthly basis.
That
that's
is
actually
dumb.
crazy.
That
It
is
is, it is,
ridiculous.
but it wouldn't take you to do much deep research. The team leaders would actually tell us too. They're like, oh, in the event that somebody passes out, just know we have first responders right outside the door. And it's like they use these code words to make it sound so much better. Why can't you just say there's an ambulance outside as opposed to first responders, where they're going to come in to like rescue, and even then, like when you need quote unquote rescuing, you're not in a good position, so thank you, Amazon, for making my life easy, though.
Right, for real. They're
I've
trying
worked,
to
I've
instead of
worked for them,
preventing it.
I worked for them, now I work with them, so I guess that's what I do.
There you go. There you go. So,
So
yeah, so actually, so this is a good change right here. Because one of the last topics we want to talk about is now that we're entrepreneurs and, like you mentioned, things are going well for us. It's not yet where we want to be, obviously, but we're headed there, right? And it's very clear that we're on track to hit our goals. And the amount of money that we've been making is a big significant difference now. So you brought up that you wanted to talk about how was there some friends that were mentioning to you that saying that money changed you, or have you seen it with other people where money has changed you? And the other thing is where do we still look at price tags when we buy certain things? So,
Credit Jacker, you want to start off with this one?
yeah, I'll start off with this one. So I think for me, when it comes to if money has changed me, I want to say no, it hasn't changed me, because and I don't think, in my opinion, it should even change you, because if you think about it, like, yeah, it might be nice, making more money, than let's just say like minimum wage, or even more than the average workers, like it might be nice to make more money, but like, um don't let it change you, like don't let it make you become like a more arrogant person, yeah, you can have nicer things, but like if that's gonna make you more, like, let's just say, more of a douchebag, or like rude, or not nice to people, um no, then it's not good, that money has changed you. So I try to make it so that money like doesn't change me, like when it comes to price tags. I want to say that before, like, I made like good amounts of money, like I would try to be very careful with my money, because when I went to middle school, like, I had to pay for my own food, and I would usually get money from my parents, so like an allowance of like let's just say $20 to $40 a week, and I there were times where I had to be like very careful with my money, so I would more or less budget, like around that, like, and at the time, I could kind of get away with like $3 meals, $4 meals, so 5 days out of the week, that will cover my lunch, but at the time, I kind of was, like looking at money, but as I've gotten older, made more money, been more careful with my money, I really don't look at price tags anymore. I'll just take a look to see, like I can basically afford anything, that I want. Realistically speaking, like if it's like very like expensive, like sure, but we're talking about like if we're talking about basic needs, like if I need like some clothes or some iPhone or something like that, then I usually don't look at price tags anymore. And for me, that's kind of a blessing, because not a lot of people can say that. Some people have disadvantages. Some people go by rent. How do you say it? Rent on a rent to rent basis. Things like that. So for me, it's kind of a blessing to say, that I don't look
Like
at price tags.
paycheck to paycheck, basically. They're just living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Paycheck to paycheck. I don't really have any worries, struggles. And yeah, for me, it's just an honor to say, that I don't really look at price tags. I know lots of people can't say the same thing, and that's kind of the importance of why entrepreneurship, has gotten me there. It's allowed me, to basically not only get more free time to do like my own things, my own passions, etc., but like basically get anything and at any time that I want. So that's what I will say. When it comes to price tags. What about
Yeah,
you?
dude, I 100% agree with you. Here's my take on it. So basically, I've heard this before, so this is not coming from me, you guys. But basically, what I've heard is that money amplifies who you are. So if you're a douchebag, you're an asshole, you're whatever selfish ego person before, you're gonna be a more douchey person once you get money, especially because that money, that fame, that wealth, that success is gonna amplify your ego. It's gonna make you, be able to become more of a douchebag. However, if you were raised and your personality has always been to take care of others, to be nice, to be empathetic, to look out for others, then money will amplify that. So, for example, I've been like an introvert slash extrovert. I can be both at the same time. It just depends on who I'm with. I'm very introverted when I first meet somebody, but once I open up, like, and I get to know somebody, then I'm like an extrovert. So, one of the things that I notice is that I'm a very service-based person. I like serving people. I like serving people that I love. Like, if you're in my life and I love you and I care about you, then I will do anything for you, right? I'll whatever it is. And money has been able to amplify that, to be have the ability to help the people that I love and give the people that I love what I want. Um, is absolutely amazing. Now, instead of me thinking like, man, I want to buy this person X, Y, and Z because they really need it, but I don't have the money for it. Now it's like, oh, you need this? Put it's on Amazon. You'll get in your house in 2 days. Like that's it. And I don't think about it, right? I don't have to look at the price tag unless it's something ridiculous, right? But the majority, like for example, I'm single, you guys, as you guys know, but I've been recently hanging out with somebody, spending time with somebody that I really, really care, and I met a little bit ago, and it was Valentine's, and I decided to have her as my Valentine. I and we went out and everything, and I bought her some things that even she was very apprehensive about receiving, because to her it was like a really big gift for her, but to me it's like, man, you said that you wanted this, so like you make me very happy, so I'm willing to buy this for you. And it's like, what's that to me? Like it wasn't that much money to me, but to her it was like, this is very, very generous. And then for my family, it's like my daughter, like even today, she told me that she wants to go eat steak. And to be honest with you, like, well, it depends on what time we finish the podcast. I might just go dress up real quick and go take her out to a fancy steak dinner right now, just because I can, and it feels so good to be able to say that. So there's times where on the price tag situation, again, that sounds super ignorant and arrogant to be able to say, oh yeah, whatever, I buy anything that I want. I don't care about the price tag. There's situations where I do. Like, even I know, Eddie, asked me last podcast how much was my Uber, and I was like, well, I don't have no idea, because I know that an Uber from my home to the San Diego airport is not going to cost me an arm and a leg, right? So that's why I don't have to take a look at it. If I'm going to go out to dinner with my daughter tonight, I don't have to take a look at the bill, because I know that we're not going to order anything ridiculous, right? But there's times when I'm trying to, like, this is still, like, I think it's such a male instinct to find the best bargain. Where, like, if I'm gonna buy something for myself, that's when I start looking at the price tag. Like, do I really need this thing? And then I'm like, nah, I don't need it. And then I don't end up buying it because I'm thinking like, oh, I can find it cheaper somewhere else or something like that. But besides that, like, yeah, I think money has changed the ability to be able to provide more of what I've been already doing as who I am as a person, but it has not changed me into a negative light where I feel like I the world owes me something, or I'm a douchebag now, or anything like that. It's nothing like that.
Awesome, awesome. No, yeah. So you beat me to it. I was gonna say the famous quote where it's about money just amplifies the type of person that you are. So all my people know, like all the closest people know how generous and kind I am. And to them, it's a trip because I always offer to pay for their hotel rooms or pay for their flights. And a lot of times, oh, especially my parents, when they're like, "Oh, can you look for tickets? Because from this date to the other date, and they're like, oh, they're this price, and like, oh no, can you look at the dates for like 2 days later?" And I'm just like, "Do you guys want to? Is this like a trip that you guys want to go on?" And they'll say yes. I was like, "All right, they're already booked," even though I hadn't booked them at the time. It takes me literally 2 3 minutes to input all their personal information. But again, my people know that I'm extremely generous. They I haven't changed. Literally, in the sense that money did change me. It changed my the way I think about money, obviously, which I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree that at its core, money has changed us, but
Absolutely.
money does money does amplify who we are. And let's just say that everybody that I went to school with didn't like me. Oh, and guess what? You guys know I didn't like too many people either.
Of course not.
But they want to show, so I'm going to give it to them. When it comes down to everything, everybody knows that um, I don't really like to wear shoes. I like to wear my slides. I love wearing basketball shorts, sweats, sweaters with no shirts underneath. That's my thing. That's where I say money has not changed me. I haven't gone shopping in such a long time because I have so much clothes. Within the next maybe like month and a half, I'm actually going to be clearing out a big portion of my closet. I'm going to buy nothing but black clothes. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, black clothes.
black clothes,
That
yeah.
sounds like a terrible idea.
Why?
You got two Frenchies, and you
Well,
that shed fucking hair everywhere,
yeah,
bro.
but I have two Frenchies and three lint rollers, so it's them against me.
No, bro. I don't think that's a great idea.
I'll have to push them away. I'll have to use the force or something. No, but definitely when it comes down to like to changing me personally, it's just amplified who I am. I'm just that same person with I guess it's for you guys to say I'm the same person with the big heart. Um, And then do I look at price tags? It actually depends. The answer is yes. I still look at price tags. My favorite humble uh, go-to restaurants are obviously In and Out. I'm a Cali boy. I love Carl's Jr. and this might surprise you guys. I love Subway. I love Subway.
No.
I
Oh,
genuinely love Subway.
let's kick him out of the group, Alexis. No, I'm
That was
like,
the
Out
time.
of the podcast.
Now is the time before it's too late. I love Subway. So when I either go drop off my laundry or when I'm waiting for like my laundry to get done or whatever, because if it's blankets, I like to spend time in my car texting back, right? And I like to munch on
dude,
a
there's
nice
so many better Subway places. The Subway,
yeah, but they don't have
sandwich
creamy
places.
sriracha.
Huh?
They don't have creamy sriracha.
Let me show you better places, bro.
No, no,
I'm
yeah,
gonna show you way better
for sure.
places.
There's Jersey Mike's, there's Quiznos, there's all these other places. But for me, Subway's just it's just really really good for me. And then Carl's Jr. obviously the big hamburgers for whatever. Um,
I give you Carl Jr. I give you In and Out. Um,
okay.
In and Out just because I love their business model. I love
Correct.
you. We can. I
All right,
can. Oh, dude. Next podcast, let's talk
next
about the
podcast
restaurant
we'll break
business,
down In-N-Out. We'll break down In-N-Out,
dude.
of course, and then Carl's Jr. I love how big their hamburgers are. I love that they're charbroiled. See, when we went to the AVN Awards, we stopped at Wally's, correct? At Wally's, the hamburger that we got with fries was $35.99. I remember, correct? Why? Because I looked at the price tag. But when I go out to eat with I hate to say it, when I go on dates, which are rare, when I decide to take a friend out or just a whatever, I really won't look at price tags, correct? But within the week, I like to I don't really have to budget is the thing. I just do it like you said, it's just like male instinct. And this might blow some people's minds, but the crazy diet that I'm on right now is literally a pound of fruit and vegetables and a pound of beef, which my boy and I we go to Sam's or Costco and we buy the like the packs of ground beef. It's 5 pounds for $3.99 a pound each. So it's 20 pounds for it's $20 for like 5 pounds. Bro, I'm down to $8 a day on food. So I have this nasty, ugly urge to just swipe my credit card, buy something extremely expensive just to be like, God, but I haven't ever um, budgeted so much. I haven't ever like I don't even consider it budgeting. I don't I can spend freely. I can do whatever I want. I can get up and go on a flight tomorrow. I can go to any restaurant. I can stay at any hotel, literally. But to me, what's the point? To me, what's the point? I have almost everything at home. I would say it's obviously extremely appropriate in special occasions. I don't treat anybody more different or any less unless I didn't like you. If I didn't like you, yes, I will still talk to you. That's only just to brag, of course. But to my
There you
people,
go.
it's like, oh, when I go back home to Turlock and I say, "Do you guys want to go to the bar?" Which is ultimately rare because I don't really drink. I'm paying for everybody. I'm paying for everybody that shows up. When it comes down to food, I'm paying for everybody that shows up. Why? Because it is my treat. They don't, and I know my people. Another thing, I know my people. Can afford to pay for themselves. There was one time, I hate to bring it up. There was one time where some stupid bitch, I was seeing her extremely high maintenance. She, in the middle of dinner, she goes, "So when are you gonna buy me my Gucci purse?" And I'm just like, "Oh, like that's to come, obviously, but how much does that cost?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I want one that costs like $1,600." And I'm like, "Damn, I didn't say it, but I'm just thinking, right? Like seriously, let me try to keep it polite. This female expects me to pay for something that's extremely materialistic." And then, of course, I asked her two questions. I was like, "Can you afford this on your own?" She said, "No." I gotta stop with the voices. She said no. which is she goes, no, this is exactly why I want you to buy it for me. And then I hit her with the following question. I always ask this question. I always ask this question. What makes you think you're so special?
Yeah, yeah, you
And
do. You always ask people that.
and and that's like an instant switch, like, oh, so you brought me on a date and you really don't think I'm special? It's this and that. And then of course I always hit them with the, might I remind you that I live in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, and I get invited to tables, to bottle service, and I don't have to pay to get in. I have access to all these chicks around me that look at us. We're not thought at as gods for having tables, but people don't know that we get invited for free. People think, even though we do have money, people are like, these guys have to have millions in the bank account. That alone, at the snap of a finger, it's like open sesame to us, right?
Open sense.
Oh, of course, it's obviously not my loss. Yeah, I paid for dinner. She asked for two desserts. She didn't finish them, but that was obviously the last time I saw that person. And it's that you show people a specific lifestyle, and that's uh, like the Tinder swindler. They always come back. They literally always come back, and it's like that's when it's just like cut it off. Uh, I think to wrap it up, do I look at price tags? Yes, not that I have to, not because it's because I want to. Money does amplify who you are as a person. I don't really like people. I rarely date. I'm more focused on my well-being. Um, yeah.
Bro, you're gonna be like the old lady with cats, but you're gonna be the old man with Frenchies.
With dog. Hey, at least the dogs are cute. No, I have no, I'm not even gonna talk about that, but sick analogy. Sick
Dude,
analogy.
yeah. Nah, it's all good, bro. Yeah, no. But man, dude, at the end of the day, you're gonna meet the right people for you, the right girl for you. It's gonna be, you know,
Oh, I'm not even worried.
yeah, yeah,
I just barely turned 27. I'm not even thinking about that till I'm probably 30.
right.
That's
Yeah.
to like literally and openingly be like, you know what? Like I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, it's time, but every once in a while I will stumble across something that I'm like, there's something interesting about you. Once I figure out what's interesting about them and I see it on someone else, until I see what's interesting
There
about
you
this
go.
person.
Absolutely.
You gotta
Yeah.
defeat the purpose as to why you date, but um
For
yeah.
sure. For sure. Man, but yeah,
Any
that
other
was
topics we have to cover?
no, that was it. This was a good podcast. This is a good wrapping up
Really enjoyed it.
session.
I think it was
So
awesome that we were able to pull this off together despite us not being in the same room. I think
yeah,
it's funny that every podcast we are at a different setting. So
that is
Yep.
true.
that is true. We made it work. Just we do this for you guys, for the audience, for educational purposes. And should you guys
Right.
reach out to any of us, I know we're all characters.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And if anybody's out there wondering where I'm at with my IG, it's just that I've been focusing solely on the company and right now, and I don't want to bring in any new clients, but it should be open in the next week. So be ready for me to come back to Instagram. Dude, when are you getting your Instagram?
Yeah, sorry guys, my Instagram has been back. I got banned for quote unquote impersonation, which I'm probably the realest one out there because I'm for the people.
Wait, you finally got it back?
No. I'm in the process of definitely getting it back.
Yeah.
I'm just not willing to pay anybody to do it because I shouldn't have to pay since I don't think I did anything wrong besides call out a fake scammer who who thinks he holds some specific power, which is extremely superficial. You know,
Right.
man child thinks he has he amplified by the little money that he has, you know.
He thinks he can just go cross red lights, Oh, I can dismiss a ticket, like, yeah, sure you can, but like you're breaking the law at the end of the day, like, and you're
You're
just
putting
a
people in
douche.
harm's way.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's correct.
He
So
thinks it's a flex, but what can I say?
I think I'm pretty sure 99, like at least 95% of the people that look at him like he's a complete douche. You know, I don't. I rarely say that about people too. So if I say it, you must have really earned it.
Right.
He definitely earned it.
Right, man. But okay, I'm not trying to get canceled either, so
Awesome. Should be good. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was probably one of my most favorite podcasts, mainly and more so because it was extremely personal. We had some experiences of us, some of us growing up and all that. Thank you so much for tuning in, for the support, the love, and yeah, and any other closing words.
now that's it. We'll see you guys later next
Perfect.
week.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out.
Signing out. Later, guys. I want you guys to do a clap too, but okay. 5, take 1. Do it separately. Either of you can go first.
I'll go first.
I didn't hear that.
I can't hear it.
Uh,
Eddie's gonna go grab his girl and clap.
Okay, you already know, bro.